Good morning and welcome to the Houston Zoo. My name is Alicia and I am here with Berani and Amberly, and we are excited to celebrate International Tiger Day. Now we are going to be celebrating this upcoming Saturday from 9 to 2, and right here front and center is Berani. Now this morning I am going to be talking about some fun-filled tiger facts. I'm going to be talking about Berani in general and getting you guys excited about some of the activities we are going to be doing on Saturday. Now let's start about the fun activities we're doing on Saturday. It is going to be from 9 to 2, and we are going to be having things such as a fun photo booth for all of the kids that come out with the parents. We are going to be doing jumping with a tiger, IDing all the different subspecies to see if you can tell the difference between what would be a Sumatran or a Malayan. We are going to be doing activities such as, can you identify the difference between tigers? Can you tell which tiger is which between Berani and Sawtooth, the tiger we used to have, and a ton of different photo ops and enrichment opportunities and training demos. So please feel free, come out, learn about tigers, learn what the Houston Zoo is doing to help save tigers in the wild. Now let me introduce the star. His name is Berani. If you've come to the zoo before, maybe you've seen him up close and center over here. Let's talk about some of the things that you're seeing. First, let's talk about how beautiful his face is. You're going to see a couple things as he's over here. The first thing you're going to see is that little bit of hair around his face. That is called a mane. Yes, a mane. When you think of a mane, a lot of times, what do we think of? We think of a lion. Tigers also have manes. Now, they're not always as big as Berani's. It's kind of unique. Just like you and me are different, each animal here at the Houston Zoo is different. It kind of goes off their parents, just like us. And Berani was born with a big, beautiful, round mane like that. The next thing you're going to notice is those big teeth that as the food is going in. Those canines that you're getting glimpses of right there as he goes to eat, those canines are about 3 inches in size, so they are not small as he's putting that food in. He is a very polite and respectful eater. We do work on that here at the zoo. We do work on manners with our training. Another thing you're going to notice a little bit is his unique eyes. Tigers are crepuscular eaters, or they are nocturnal hunters. That means that they are designed to see at night. They are designed to hunt at night. They do not see like we do. They also don't see the rainbow. They don't see all the colors that we do. They see mostly blues and greens. Why is that? They need to be seen at night. But also, prey doesn't see all the rainbow colors. They also see blues and greens, so they don't need to see all the rainbow. You're also going to notice a couple things as you look at them. What's the biggest thing we know about tigers? They're orange and black, right? Those stripes, they're big and beautiful and striped. Duh, that's the best thing about them. Well, each tiger, as he looks at us and sees those stripes, are uniquely striped to just them. So if you look down right now and you look at your hands and you look at those beautiful fingerprints, your fingerprints are unique to you. His stripes are unique to him. So out in the wild, when researchers are trying to ID tigers, a lot of times they're going to look at their face and they're going to kind of pick a stripe or two that's really unique to that tiger. So when you guys come to the zoo and you see Berani and you look at his face, maybe pick a stripe or two that you like and kind of say, oop, that's unique to Berani. If you don't see his face and maybe you see him walking around, if you actually get a chance to look at his spine or look at his back, he does have what looks like an arrow tip. And that is really cool because tigress, which is part of the scientific name, actually means arrow. So it is kind of like a unique, fun stripe. That is something that maybe researchers would use in the wild. I like to use it as his little unique stripe. So that is something that's fun and unique about his stripes. Now, stripes also, they are not just on his fur. Tigers are actually striped all the way down to their skin. So if for some reason he were to lose all of his fur magically, his skin would be striped too. So that is so fun and unique about him. Now, you're going to kind of see his paws as he's grooming like your cats do at home. And Berani's claws are the same as your cats at home. They are not out. He has to push them out to scratch or as we all like to do, like knead the little bread like your cats do at home. He has to push them out, unlike your dogs. And Berani does do that. Now, we don't have carpet scratchers here at the zoo. We use different things that are much more designed for tigers. We use logs and trees and big rope scratchers to be able to replicate that behavior and do that with enrichment. So we do kind of what you guys do at home. We just do it in a larger scale. Now, training. I mentioned we work on manners, we work on behavior, and you notice that Berani is respectfully taking that meat off the tongs. That is something that we want him to do. We want him to be calm. You can notice that he is positively laying here. You can see nothing's keeping Berani on this platform. He's nice and relaxed, and that's what we want to see. We want to see good, positive, relaxed welfare, and that comes through a lot of training. When we train the animals here, we use what's called positive reinforcement. That's a really big word. Don't worry, you do it at home. We do what's called an ask and reward system. So if you're at home and you ask your pet to sit down, and they sit down and you give them a treat, that's exactly what we're doing here. We're just doing it safely from this side of the protective mesh. So when Berani came over and he laid down, Amberly said, "Thank you for coming over," and she gave him a piece of meat. That is positive reinforcement, and it was an ask and reward system. Now, we ask our animals in the carnivore department to do a ton of behaviors with operative conditioning, and we do a ton of husbandry behaviors. Again, big words, and mostly they just participate in their own vet care. For everybody that's watching, if you've ever taken your child to the doctor and they had to get a vaccine, or they had to get their blood taken, or anything else scary, or just get a checkup, that can be really scary for them. Well, some of that stuff can be really scary for our animals too. So what we do is we actually create those to be really positive moments for our animals. So what we do is we create relationships with them. We have the techs or the vets come down and we have them feed the animals. And then we work on voluntary things. So we have them get voluntary injections or voluntary blood draws. So Berani here, he can actually have a blood sample taken from his tail. And so we will actually have him lay down just like Amberly asked him to. And we were underneath from safely outside of his space. We were able to get his tail out, and our techs are able to draw blood from the side of his tail. He can receive vaccines safely in the hip through an injection, and he actually can receive voluntary radiographs if we were need to receive x-rays for some reason. And we start that training pretty early on. We want to be preventative care. We want him to have all these behaviors while he's right now perfectly healthy. As he goes into older age, we want him to have all of that stuff. And speaking of age, on August 26th, Berani will be turning 13 years old, which is middle-aged for a tiger, moving into geriatric. They can live into late teens and human care. So he is kind of approaching more towards geriatric or older age for him. And we are starting to kind of just keep an eye on him. We started all of that normal stuff. You know, as we start to get older, he's got to take his glucosamine, his supplements for joint care, make sure we're doing that preventative care for arthritis. For anybody who's older, kind of knows what I'm talking about. We do start that kind of stuff. Now, if you can see Berani there, front and center, you're probably thinking, that's a really big cat. And you are not wrong. He is really big. But in the world of subspecies of tigers, he is actually really small. He is a Malayan tiger, and Malayan tigers are the second smallest subspecies of tiger, right above Sumatran, and he is sitting at 300 pounds. I know I said that, 300 pounds. You're like, Alicia, that's not small, and you're not wrong. He is about the same size as our female lions. So when you come to the zoo and you can see him, he's right across the way. Feel free, go take a look at them too. But when it comes to tigers, Tigers are the biggest species of cats. Now he's only 300 pounds. Amur tigers, or for some of us that are older, known as Sumatran tigers, now known as Amur tigers because they're found in more than Sumatra, they can get to 600 to 800 pounds. So I want you to take what you can see from the screen and I want you to double it in size. And now you can see why I'm like, he's small. Now it's going to be hard for you to kind of imagine that. So when you come to the zoo next and you look at him, and I said go look at those female lions, take a look at Hassani, our male lion. He's sitting at about 500 pounds, just over. And that'll kind of give you an idea of what a Sumatran tiger would look like. Take Hassani the lion, make that even bigger, and you're going to get a good idea of what an Amur tiger would look like. And that will kind of give you the best clue on why I say, you know, he's not really that big. Now through this training session, you've kind of heard him vocalize a little bit. All those vocalizations are really positive. That's him talking to us, kind of communicating to us. I like to call those little moos. Those are really positive little moos. Tigers do make a wide range of vocalizations, but they don't make some of the vocalizations your cats at home make. Tigers are in the big cat family because they're big. But that family is known as the Panthera family. And that family, what they all have in common is that they can all roar. Now we all know lions can roar. That's the iconic animal we all think of with roaring. But tigers can roar as well. And in that family, because they can roar, that sound comes from their larynx. And it comes from pretty much creating a cave in there to be able to echo that sound miles away. But because of that, their voice or vocal cords have changed, so they can't purr like your cat at home. They can't make that vocalization. So they are not super closely related. Now they're still a cat, don't get me wrong, they're still a cat, but they are not as closely related to your cat at home. Now, that roaring also means that they can make a vocalization called a chuff. Now that chuff is a really positive noise. It's something that we really encourage him to make. When he makes it to us, we know that he's in a good mood or in a positive environment. We know he feels really comfortable. Berani makes that noise towards us all the time, and that's really encouraging. So those moos or those chuffs that he makes during this training session, that lets us know he's really comfortable here interacting with us during the Facebook Live. Now we have some questions here. The first question, Angela asked, will this type of talk be available on Saturday morning? Absolutely. We are going to be doing 3 different keeper chats. They are going to be at 10 a.m., 11:30, and 2. And we will talk about all this kind of stuff. They will be available for a question and answer session. So if you want to come out, see all those demos, ask any kind of questions you want about Berani or any of the animals in the carnivore department, we encourage you guys to come out. We'll have even more information about the conservation projects that we do. We do help save tigers in the wild, especially Malayan tigers. There are only about 800 left in the wild. They are critically endangered species. We here at the Houston Zoo are doing tons of work to save them from extinction. So yeah, we will be doing all kinds of talks. Just so you know, our team can talk about tigers forever. This is not unique. We love him so much. He's so beautiful. So come on out, learn tons of things about him. So this is something that will be happening all day. So just so you know, you guys, again, the event will be happening from 9 to 2. We really appreciate all of the support we get from the Houston community. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. We are like a family. So from Berani, Amberly, and me, we want to thank you guys for all of the support, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.